Welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a challenge that almost every modern business has to deal with. How do you securely connect your own private network to all the power of the AWS cloud? Well, the solution is surprisingly cool, and it's called an AWS Site-to-Site VPN. Let's just dive right in and see how it all works.
So let's just picture this for a second. Over here, you've got your physical office, right? Your data center, where all your teams are working and your local servers are doing their thing. And then, way over there, you have the massive power and scale of all your stuff running in a private network on AWS. For all practical purposes, these are two completely separate worlds. So the big question is, how do you build a bridge between these two worlds? And, not just any old bridge. You need one that's totally private, totally secure, and super reliable. Because we're talking about sending your important company data over the public internet. That's the exact problem we're here to solve. And the answer is a really neat piece of technology called an AWS Site-to-Site VPN. It is the perfect solution designed to handle this exact problem by creating what is basically a secure digital tunnel between your world and the cloud. So what is it technically? Well, a site-to-site VPN is a secure, fully encrypted connection that links your physical network directly to your virtual private cloud, your VPC, in AWS. And this is the key part. It does this using the public internet, but it wraps all your data in this super strong layer of encryption, keeping it completely private from everybody else. Now, this is probably the best way to visualize it. Just imagine your office is one building and your AWS setup is another building across town. The internet is like all the public roads and highways between them. A site-to-site VPN isn't like sending a regular delivery truck down the highway where anyone can see it. Oh no, it's like you've built your own private, secret, underground tunnel directly between the two buildings. Nobody else can see inside it and nobody else can use it. Okay, so to build this awesome tunnel, you're going to need two main connection points, one on each end. You can kind of think of them as the two doors to our secure tunnel. Let's meet the two main characters in this story. First up, on your side, you have what's called the Customer Gateway, or CGW for short. This is a real, physical piece of hardware. It's that router or firewall sitting in your office's server rack that connects you to the internet. This is the gatekeeper for your end of the tunnel. And on the other end, hanging out inside AWS, you have the Virtual Private Gateway, or VGW. This is the software-defined, cloud-based version. It's the VPN router that lives inside your AWS network, just waiting to connect with your office. So the CGW and the VGW, they're the two ends that shake hands and create that secure connection. Let's just quickly run through these key terms again. We've got the VPC, that's your private cloud. The CGW, that's your physical router. The VGW, that's the AWS router. And then we have route tables, which are kind of like traffic cops, directing data where to go, and BGP, which is a really clever protocol that lets the routers automatically share directions with each other. Now, when you're directing that traffic, you've got two main choices. With static routing, an admin has to go in and manually type in every single path. It's simple, sure, but it's also kind of fragile. If a connection breaks, everything just stops until someone goes in and fixes it by hand. But with BGP, the routers actually talk to each other. They're constantly sharing information to find the best possible path. This is exactly why bigger companies always prefer BGP. It's just smarter. It adapts to changes and automatically reroutes everything if there's a problem, making sure your connection always stays up. Okay, so we get the components now. But how do we actually build this bridge? Well, the great news is you really don't have to be a networking genius. AWS has made this a pretty straightforward process. Let's walk through the steps. It really boils down to about 5 key stages. First, you just need to get some technical details about your office router. Second, you pop into the AWS console and you tell AWS about your router. That's creating the customer gateway, and then you create the virtual private gateway on the AWS side. Third, you create the actual VPN connection that links those two together. Fourth, you tell your cloud network how to use this new connection. And finally, AWS gives you this handy configuration file that you download and give to your network admin to load onto your physical router. That's it. And this part is just brilliant. It's one of the best features. See, when you create a VPN connection, AWS doesn't just build you one tunnel. It automatically sets up 2 of them, running in parallel. This is all for high availability. So if one tunnel ever has an issue or goes down for a second, your traffic automatically switches over to the second one, and you don't notice a thing. It's like having a built-in peace of mind. So we've built our secure tunnel, everything's connected. Now let's just zoom out a little and talk about why this is so important. What's the real payoff for doing all this? First, let's clear up something people get confused about all the time. A site-to-site VPN connects an entire network to another network. Think your whole office connecting to AWS, and it's always on. A client VPN, on the other hand, connects a single user, like you on your laptop, to a network. So the key difference is scale. Site-to-site is for the whole office. Client VPN is just for one person at a time.
The benefits of doing this are just huge. I mean, is it secure? Absolutely. It's fully encrypted. Is it expensive? Not at all. It's super cost-effective because it just uses the internet connection you're already paying for. Does it work with modern setups? You bet. It's the perfect way to build a hybrid cloud strategy. And is it quick to set up? Way, way faster than waiting weeks or even months for a private physical line to be installed.
So if you're ever in a meeting or a job interview and need to explain this in a nutshell, this right here is your perfect answer. An AWS Site-to-Site VPN is a secure IPSec tunnel between an on-prem data center and an AWS VPC running over the internet. It uses a customer gateway on your side and a virtual private gateway on the AWS side. That's it. Simple, clear, and 100% accurate.
And really, that brings us to the end. You've done it. You've successfully built a secure bridge between your physical office and the cloud. The foundation is there. So the only real question left to ask is, now that these two worlds are securely connected, what amazing things are you going to build next?